This is a WNBD NBC33 News Brief.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Angie Casada with your NBC News Brief. Well, topping our news brief this morning, several Mississippi colleges and universities are stepping up its efforts to recruit more African Americans into science and technology careers. And they just received a huge grant to help their campaigns. On Friday, Nissan donated $250,000 to 6 historically black colleges and universities, including Coahoma Community College and Mississippi Valley State. It's all part of the STEM program. Those colleges and universities will use that money to develop stronger science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs. Nissan hopes by investing in students now, it'll build its workforce of tomorrow. Well, Mississippi game wardens find a dead body in the woods, but the way the body was found has residents shaken. The man who was found hanging from a tree with a bed sheet around his neck, and now the feds are investigating. CJ LeMaster has the story.
It's just like all of a sudden, bam. We don't do stuff like this, not these days.
Behind a house on Rodney Road, game wardens made a grisly discovery Thursday morning, a suspicious hanging death.
But now we got a young man that died, and we're going to determine how he died. And if someone did that, that person will be brought to justice, and he will be punished for that.
Claiborne County Sheriff Marvin Lucas says the man had been outside so long he could not be positively identified. Lucas said the man was found hanging from the branch of a tree with a bed sheet tied around his neck. But law enforcement is remaining tight-lipped about whether that death was a suicide or homicide.
And we figure out what the evidence is, then we'll know which direction to take the investigation. But until then, it's too early to say what happened and or speculate about the cause or the manner of death.
Not far from where investigators held their staging area, family members of a man missing for more than 2 weeks held their breath. They fear the man found hanging is 54-year-old Otis Bird, who lived nearby before disappearing March 2nd.
When he became missing, we was like, nah, not him. No, not Uncle Otis, no. So that's how it was. So I'm like, something ain't right.
Lucas says they won't likely know the identity until autopsy results from the state crime lab come back next week. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is working the case with state and local law enforcement, in part because of the nature of the crime. And while some believe it could have been racially motivated, Lucas had this to say.
I refuse to bring race into this. Just remember that a young man died, regardless of whether or not he was black or white. That person, if someone murdered him, that person will be brought to justice.
Well, thank you for tuning in to your NBC 33 News Brief. We'll see you tonight.
This has been a WNBD NBC33 News Brief.